Hello guys, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to my this video. This is basically an update video about the two videos I earlier uploaded about education system in Turkey. For unfortunately, that two videos were in Urdu or Hindi, so many people asked me to give a brief in English language. So not only will I give a brief, which was in those two videos, slightly touch, what was in those two videos, and I will also give update about many of the concerned parents who have asked me to give the latest about the current education system. What are the challenges now for these parents, for the students, for the schools, and well, to give you some tips and information so that you can make an educated choice for your kids education in Turkey has three types of education system. One is Turkish education system. Either it is public or private. If it is a Turkish school, all the subjects will be in Turkish, and the teaching will be in Turkish, and within the school interaction will be among the students and among the teachers will be in Turkish language. The other option is international schools, those who are teaching American IB or British O levels, A levels system. Now, in those, there are some schools which are hybrid also. Hybrid, by hybrid, I mean that they are also teaching some of the mandatory Turkish subjects by Turkish Education Ministry. So when a child qualifies from those hybrid schools, they not only have an international either IB or British education certificate, they also have an equivalent Turkish certificate of education. So they can benefit, from both the certificates. The third system is K12 system. Now, recently, this K12 system has become very popular and very common, and there are many schools. They are, uh, coming up like mushrooms everywhere. If you talk about Istanbul, I think there are something like, I'm not sure, but there are some 30, 32 K12 systems. The basic is that the government of Turkey was kind enough to allow all those foreign who are opting to come and live in Turkey, so they cannot put their kids in Turkish education system, because for that at least a child needs 3 to 4 years to learn the Turkish language good enough that they can understand the studies and they can reproduce in the same language. The other people are those who cannot afford IB and British schools. For instance, I don't want to name, but there are many international schools who are offering IB and O levels and A levels, British education system, but they are exuberantly, expensive. Not everyone can afford it. So people like us, like expats, those who have recently opted to live in Turkey, or those who have recently took Turkish nationality by purchase of property, and their kids cannot go opt for the Turkish education system because they are either on a senior grades, so they do not want to waste further time, or they cannot afford the exuberantly expensive IB and British curriculum schools. Now the third option, K12, is for them, and the K12 system, it works like anyone who can take affiliation from any of their school from their homeland. For example, some are from Egypt, some are from Libya, some are from Syria. If somebody is coming from those areas, they are taking affiliation from one of the school. They are opening a branch in Turkey, and in here they are opting for either a Dixel system or some American university affiliated system, and what they are doing is they are teaching. They have taken the international accreditation licenses from, there are two three very famous. One of them is Cognia, and one of them is Advanced Education or Advanced something like that. And so they are sort of study centers here. They are educating the kids, and they are getting the kid, when once the kid qualify from the school, their degree is attested by the homeland school, from the parent school. Their degree is attested by the Cognia certification, and after these two certification, Turkish Ministry of Education gave them an equivalent certificate. So these kids are good to continue their studies either within the Turkey in universities or even outside the Turkey. Recently what happened was, since there are so many schools now, so the Turkish Education Ministry wanted to standardize the standard of these schools also, so so that they can bring those school standards up to a certain mark. Secondly, they also wanted to implement sort of a control aspect, so they can, there is a mechanism of verification that the attestation that they see on the certificates are genuine. It should not be let loose, because a child studying in IB or Cambridge or Turkish education system goes through a very vigorous studies and teaching and practical also sides of the education, whereas a child from the K12 system comparatively easily gets the degrees, and they easily gets the marks, and then they compete with the same student for the university. So they wanted to bring up the K12 system schools, and to a certain level, to a certain standard, that at least the a child studying in the K12 system should also go through vigorous education and vigorous training to a certain extent that will equalize them to the IB or Cambridge or the Turkish system child. In that, do that course, what happened was, this year all the licenses of the K12 school across the board, either they are from where they are coming, or from where they are getting accreditation, or from where they are taken their syllabus to that they are teaching in their schools, across the board all of them have been told to meet certain standard. Now this standard is, it has many aspects. It has, the campus, the teachers, the laboratory, the books, the practical, extracurricular activities. So all these schools were told to meet certain standard, after which their licenses will be renewed. Now if a certain school has education from grade nursery to grade 12 high school, so this school is divided into three grades, and all three of them has to comply to the standards of the Turkish education system. Unfortunately, right now in 2023, as I am speaking, and to the best of my knowledge, none of the school across the board in Istanbul, which is following K12 system, has renewed the high school license. uh, some of them, well, many of them has renewed their middle school licenses up to the middle school licenses, but majority of them are still trying to match to the education Turkish education system standards, so that their high school license is also renewed. Now this is a very serious concern. Those of you who has kids in junior grades, they don't have such problems of acceptability, or they don't have problem of choices. But a person like me who has kids in, my two out of three kids are in high school. My eldest son is grade 12, he is about to finish the high school, and my daughter is in grade 11. So she has about, one and a half year to complete the high school. What if I don't get the, the certificate, and what if that certificate is not accredited or authenticated by the Ministry of Education? Even if I want my kids to go within the Turkey to the university, they will want a high school certificate, which is, of certain standard, and which is accredited, or which is acceptable, or notified, or attested by an accreditation body. So it is a very serious matter of concern. My advice to each and every parent is that whatever the K12 system school is, either it is, Libyan backed, or it is Egyptian backed, or Syrian backed, or ABC backed, if you name any of it, and majority of them, they are divided in two extremes of Istanbul. Either they are in the European side to Bahçeli, Evler and beyond, or they on this side, on the Asian side, they are, Kartal and beyond. In between, there is only one school. I don't want to name it. You can see it is in the Ataşehir campus. So, in between the Ataşehir and in between Bahçeli, Evler, there is no school. No K12 school, at least to the best of my knowledge. So now most of the parents, they want to, send their school to the nearest one, so that there is no, conveyance, minimum conveyance and minimum transportation time. Now, this is a very big headache. For instance, you want to choose. First of all, my advice to you is to follow your school. Ask them. There are many online options, where you can verify your concerned school. Online you can see if they have their license of, elementary, or their license of primary, or their license of middle, or their license of high school is renewed or not. Number one. If it is not, you have to follow the school. I know all of them are trying their level best to, to match the standards, and to, satisfy the education system. And, they are trying their level best to do it. But you have to, let them do it, and meanwhile you please follow with your school, so that you an updated information is given to you, at least for this year. And meanwhile, even any one school you are choosing, or you are shifting, or you want to change the school, please apply the same standard of cross verification that currently you need to have from your own school. If you are opting for any school, don't look at their building, don't look at, what they are trying to show you, just for a 5-10 minutes visit. Meet the teachers. If it is in high school, you should meet high school teachers. Ask them how long have they been teaching in that school. I know not many of them, most of them are hardly 4 or 5 years old in this, K12 system schools. There are hardly, 5, 6 schools that are older than 5 years. Majority of them are, within the 5 year span they have opened. You have to meet the teachers. You have to see the laboratory, the science laboratory. You meet the biology, the physics, the maths teacher. You meet the English teacher. You should know how long that teacher is teaching there. You should know what is the qualification of the teacher that is teaching there. So that is the, most important. The curriculum they are following, how good they are, how extensively they are teaching the students. For instance, if my kid is studying in a K12 system, and for the university, he has to compete with the child coming from IB. Now, the IB student, we all know, is very extensively, extracurricular and outside the classroom education system. And he has to compete with the child coming from an A level. Now, A level British system is very extensive book, based education. So if my child is competing for these two kids for the university, he has to have at least some standard, some level of teaching being taught to him, so that he can at least have a chance to compete with these two kids. Fine, in K12 system there is a good point in K12 system, that comparatively those two system, K12 system is an easy system, and unnecessary child is not burdened with unnecessary load of education and books and reference books and this and that. If a child wants to go to a medical, he can choose, and he can concentrate on the medical. If they want to go to the engineering and whatever subjects they want to choose, they can at least concentrate on those subjects, and they can get good marks, and taking marks is also very easy as compared to O level, A level, and as compared to IB. So right now, please, it is very important time that you collaborate with your school. Instead of fighting, this is the middle of the session, rather going to the end of the session. Talk to them, try to understand their concern, and this way you will be educated about the current scenario, and you will also get the idea what's going to happen next year and from this point beyond. This will not only help you to get your desired education or result for your kid, but this will also help you to make a choice, make an educated decision for the next year and beyond. So please, don't get panic. It is not, because if you get panic, you won't get anything out of it. If you fight with the school management of the school, you won't get anything out of it. They are not bound to tell you what is happening between them and the government or the education system or the accreditation bodies, because they are there to do that part for you. So they are also doing their best, and they are also trying to improve. Thanks to the Turkish education system, Ministry of Education, they are also, all these things have been put to increase the standard. So eventually, this is for the benefit of our kids and for us. So, but my advice is to follow with the school, try to learn the what is happening, try to learn and educate yourself what school is trying to do, and then meanwhile you will have enough information to make an educated and learned choice for the coming years. Thank you very much. I hope I cleared myself.